What you are is what you have been. What you will be is what you do now. Buddha. Hey everybody, Yogi Chevy here, and I am explaining step 7 in my 8 steps to healing, which is to live inspired. And I love this step, and I know I feel like every step that I do, I say this is the step, this is the step, but really it's just like all these steps are just like a snapshot of something that saved my life. And so when I go through this process of like creating these videos, it's like I relive them all over again, and I just marvel at the beauty that they've generated in my life. So, and this step in particular is where I feel like it's like the first 3 steps. It's like I really needed to redo what was going into my mind. I also had to redo what was going into my mouth. And I had to redo how I was expelling that. And that, if I was going to equate that to something, it would be like rebuilding a fuel system, and taking a look at what I'm bringing in and then refining that into rocket fuel. And it's like the first 3 steps are like refining, getting that fuel system to function. And the next 3 steps are like building our mechanism to connect it to something, right? And this is like where I feel like this step, living inspired, is where I take that fuel system and I'm just like, chunk. Like I just hit it right into source. And when I'm connected to source, it's like I start to create things. And whether I'm creating a vinyasa on my mat, or whether I'm creating, a piece of art on slate, or whether I'm taking something to canvas, or whether I'm making beads, it really doesn't make or I'm making videos. It really doesn't make a difference to me. It's like I'm just living in creation with no judgment, and I'm just committed to living inspired. And when I started doing that, what I really started to notice is where I really started to enroll people around me to do the same thing, to live their life inspired. And in this process of like reliving these 8 steps, I look at my life now, and it's like every part of my life has creation in it, and my best friends in the world are creators, and we all bounce these ideas off of each other as of like, how we can improve ourselves and improve our work. And that is like, it's a commitment to a couple of things. And one of the things that it's really a commitment to is self-expression. And that's like a really great yogic vow, where I do vow to live in self-expression and accept all forms of self-expression. And it's funny because I was talking with a client about this the other day, and he got pretty frustrated with me. He's like, Chevy, I don't want to do beading. And I'm like, for me, it was like getting kind of like smacked in the face, because I was like, well, of course you don't. I'm like, this is not like for me to create little Chevys out there or big Chevys out there, because I feel like there's only room for one of them out there. It's just like whatever comes about in this space, like when we're starting to just show up, and we're starting to feel, and we're starting to, like watch what we say out of our mouths, and we're watching what we're taking in between our ears, right? And we're starting to not react, and we're finding things that we love, and we're finding things to serve. And then all of a sudden it's like, here's the step where it's like we just get to live in creation and in inspiration, and just being comfortable with whatever shows up in that space. And this is when really that fuel gets converted, when we start to burn that rocket fuel and live in energy and light and connected to source. So if you made it through this video, thank you so much. If you could like and share it, I would be so grateful. And me and Milo are going to bounce and have another beautiful day of work ahead of us, which I am very excited to tackle. So namaste. Have a great day.